going on, Jerome's? So I love me some Christian Darrisaw, and I loved him back to Virginia Tech. The way that he would just absorb dudes both in the run and pass game, and he is extremely rare given his size, given his power, as well as given his feet, given his agility, given his speed. Like, Christian Darrisaw is a top 1% of the top 1% in terms of athletic ability. And I was super pumped when the Vikings were able to maneuver, trade down. Pretty Ricky Spielman, one last party gift in the 2021 draft. Vikings able to move down to 23, still get Christian Darrisaw. Hey, thank you, Raiders, for taking Alex Leatherwood. And for that, we thank you. And Darrisaw, there's moments when he looks like he is the next Trent Williams. And that comparison has been out there a lot, mainly because of the size, agility, as well as both wearing the number 71. And I mean, there's a lot of things that cross over where Trent Williams is dominant in the run game. Trent Williams is one of the best left tackles in football. Trent Williams, well, Darrisaw doesn't have the mean streak that Trent Williams does. Like Christian Darrisaw ain't out there punching Richard Sherman after games and stuff. But the whole thing about it is that we've seen glimpses of it, but it hasn't been consistent, and unfortunately, Darrisaw health is still an issue. And one of the reasons why he fell in the draft, and one of the reasons why he was taken behind Penei Sewell, behind Rashawn Slater, and behind Alex Leatherwood in 2021 is because of injuries. Like, he had a core muscle surgery that didn't allow him to participate in most of the draft season stuff. That's one of the reasons why the Vikings were able to get him. He was also dinged up through a lot of OTAs and training camp too, but Darrisaw, I mean, Darrisaw is that dude, man, but he hasn't played a full 16 or 17 game season as of yet, and it's a question mark, and it's a little bit frustrating too, because now Darrisaw is eligible for an extension, and the question is, do you throw a tier 1 left tackle money at Darrisaw? We're talking 20, 22, 23 million per season. Now, I think that it's an easy decision to pick up his fifth-year option. It's going to be around $16.2 million estimated for 2025. I think that's a really easy decision, even though it is guaranteed. It is not injury guaranteed like before. But I do have faith in Darrisaw, but also I'm not bending over backwards to get a long-term extension with him done. I want to see what he does in 2024, right? And unless it's an absolute sweetheart of a deal, say like 18 million per, then maybe we can consider it. But I don't see that happening, and I don't think Darrisaw should do that either, because if he's healthy and squared up and good to go, he is one of the best left tackles in the game. Like, he is up there with the Andrew Thomases of the world, and I truly think that Darrisaw can be a difference maker. I truly think that he, if he stays healthy, has Pro Bowl and All-Pro potential, maybe even Hall of Fame once it's all said and done, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's put together one solid, dominant, healthy season and go from there. And I think one of the main reasons why the Vikings, well, the passing game struggled because we're on quarterback 4, but the running game struggled all season long, and that's because of all the injuries up front. Bradbury missed time, Reisner missed time, and Darrisaw O'Neal obviously missed time. Ed Ingram got dinged up mid-season as well, but with Darrisaw, you get the best of both worlds. Like, he isn't just a run-dominant left tackle. He isn't just a pass blocking left tackle who's a liability in the run game. He can do both. And that's what's really valuable about him. And I actually like that he's not as fiery as Trent Williams, because I feel like Trent Williams can get a little bit too emotional, and Darrisaw is the epitome of cool. Like, he's just also love Kirk Cousins' nickname for him, CD Crime Dog, because it shows that Kirk is a man of a certain generation, because CD Crime Dog was the nickname for Fred McGriff, who was the first baseman for the Braves back in the day. And Fred McGriff had these stupid videos where they were training videos, VHS, yes, children, VHS, with Tom Umansky. And they'll run them on ESPN and like Midwest Sports Channel, also dating myself, all the time, man. So, like, dollars to donuts, Darrisaw had no idea who Fred McGriff was. Guaranteed, man. All right, but I do love me some Christian Darrisaw, and I truly believe in him. But if the Vikings don't pay him this offseason, I fully understand that, because there are other mouths to feed, whether it's Kirko, whether it's Danielle Hunter, whether it's Justin friggin' Jefferson, right? I feel like there's others in line that need to be taken care of first. And I love Darrisaw to death, but I don't want the team tossing out 22, 23, 24 million with big time guarantees if Darrisaw can't stay on the field. You know, it goes back to the best ability is availability. And I know it's obviously not his fault. I know that he wants to stay healthy. I know he wants to be out there in the fight, but we got to see it. And you know what? If that's rolling the dice, that's rolling the dice. Because frankly, also, if you have a player that's willing to settle for far below his market rate, far below what his rate would be if everything goes right, I feel like that's a question mark. I feel like that might be a demerit. Like, I want a dude, whether he's fiery, whether he's quiet or not, is like, hey, at my best, I'm worth X, and I'm going to get X. And if I have to prove it to you to get X, I'm going to do that. All right, so I think it actually behooves Darrisaw and the Vikings to let it ride, kick the can. Yes, I mean, Darrisaw could stay fully healthy and have a Pro Bowl, All-Pro type season and truly cement himself as one of the best left tackles in the game, and the Vikings will be paying Laramie Tunsil money. I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly okay, man. And the thing about it is that the Vikings have searched for years to have a true blue franchise left tackle. It didn't work out with Matt Khalil. And hey, also, speaking of which, you remember when Matt Khalil came into the league out of USC in 2012? It was RG3, it was Andrew Luck, it was Trent Richardson, and it was Matt Khalil. Also, I believe that was Patrick Peterson's draft. I may be wrong. I may be lying. But, I mean, Matt Khalil was like, oh, you know, Matt Khalil is like, he's a future All-Pro. Just set it and forget it. But I feel like Matt Khalil was a 6'6", long arm, 310-pound dude who wishes that he was 5'8". I feel like Matt Khalil was a really good guy. Well, I think he still is a good guy. As evidenced by the way he ran his pizzerias. I mean, he's just a good, quiet, down-to-earth dude. I don't think he ever loved the game. I think that he loved what the game brought. I think that he played the game because he was 6'6", 310, and because his brother Ryan, the former center for the Panthers, he definitely loved the game, and also Pops loved the game too. I think it's one of those spots where you're born into it's like if someone is 7 foot tall and athletic, it's a crime if they just want to be a CPA and not play basketball. It's one of those weird things, man. But I'm ranting. This is what we do here, though. But yeah, I do think that Darrisaw can be elite. I think that we can table contract talks, especially since the Vikings need all the cap space they can get this year to load up and get ready for 2024. And let's see Darrisaw bet on himself. I like that gamble, man. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. You guys know what to do. Skull, no production value.